Now, Allred alleges that a letter that Whitman received from the Social Security Administration alerted her that her housekeeper was using a bogus Social Security number, a clear indication that the housekeeper was an illegal immigrant. Just one problem. The letter sent by the Social Security Administration did no such thing. In fact, it merely requested information about the housekeeper, including her Social Security number, and explicitly stated that using the letter as an excuse to lay off the employee in question was a potential violation of state or federal law. Now, there's one other thing that Gloria forgot to mention in the midst of her vicious attacks. She is a partisan ally of Whitman's Democratic opponent, Jerry Brown, and has been for over 3 decades. Now, earlier today, the Brown campaign confirmed that Allred served as a volunteer on Mr. Brown's campaign back in 1974 while working for the National Organization for Women, which was then backing Brown. She also donated $150 to Brown's 2006 campaign for Attorney General. And in this 1994 video, you can see Allred and Brown sitting next to each other on C-SPAN on a panel that they appeared to together in June of that year. So I think all of that makes Allred's motivation pretty clear. And joining me now with her response to all of this, it was the target of these allegations. California gubernatorial candidate Meg Whitman is back on the program. Meg, welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Happy to be here, Sean.
All right, it gets complicated, but I think this is really important because you hired this woman back in 2000. You use an employment agency, correct?
Correct. We did use an employment agency, and we asked specifically for someone that they knew was documented.
Okay, specifically, and they provided you with documentation. They provided you
Correct.
with a Social Security number, right? And
we actually had a copy of a Social Security card, a copy of the driver's license, and an I-9 form filled out by Nikki Diaz that says that the employee signed saying, under the penalty of perjury, I assert that I am illegal to work in this country.
Now, all right, so it seems to me you did complete and due diligence. All right, so now Gloria Allred moves forward, and she goes to this letter that I guess you and your husband received from the Social Security Administration, correct?
Yes, neither of us remembered receiving this, but then it showed up, and you are exactly right in your intro. It said nothing about immigration status. It said, you know, we're looking into W-2, and what it read like was a clerical form, and we were worried that Nikki wasn't going to get credit for her Social Security contributions or a tax refund if she was due it. So my husband scribbled a little note on the bottom and said, Nikki, please look into this. We had no reason to believe that anything was askew.
Okay, and it actually said it is not a basis in and of itself for you to take any adverse action against the employee, such as laying off, suspending, firing, or discriminating against the individual. Any employer that uses the information in this letter, the letter they sent you, it goes on to say, to justify taking adverse action against any employee may violate state or federal law, and you may be subject to legal consequence. So it's not like they were telling you just the opposite of what is being alleged here, it seems to me.
That's exactly right. And we had no reason to believe that Nikki Diaz was here illegally. We'd gotten all the documentation. Nothing like this had ever come up until June of 2009 when she called me and said, I have to come and talk to you. And on that Saturday in June, she came to us and said, I know you're running for governor. I have to tell you that I am here illegally. And my husband and I were stunned and saddened, really. And we had to make one of the most difficult decisions that I've had to make in my life, which is to let Nikki go. She'd become a part of our extended family. But it is illegal to hire illegals in California, and we had to make that decision, so we let her go.
And you were paying her a pretty handsome salary, from what I read.
We were paying her $23 an hour to work 15 hours a week. And she had tremendous flexibility. I was, concerned about her. She was a working mother, had 3 boys, and she asked to work 4 days a week. We paid her 15 hours for those 4 days. And when her child was sick, she would bring her young son with her to work, or she had to go out for a parent-teacher conference or a pediatrician's appointment. We let her do that and, of course, continued to pay her. We had actually a great relationship with Nikki. And I think what has happened here is this is smear tactics. This is dirty tricks in the worst tradition of Democratic politics.
Well, the timing is certainly suspect now, isn't it? Beyond anything else, and we've pointed out this political alliance over the years between Gloria and Jerry Brown. Now, there are some legal issues here, not against you, but against this woman that you had hired. She signed under the threat of perjury this I-9 form. So she lied on that document. She had
forged documents. The Social Security card evidently was fake, and who knows how she got the driver's license.
Well,
she's in very serious trouble, Sean. You know, what Gloria Allred has done, I believe in cahoots with the Brown campaign, is they have sacrificed this Latina, who is a very nice woman, on the altar of Jerry Brown's political ambitions. There's no question that this was a coordinated effort.
It does seem in that sense, then, that Gloria Allred has put her life, in that sense, her ability to stay in the United States in jeopardy at this point.